Hello, and welcome to Stompboxing, a podcast about guitar pedals and whatever else. I'm Dan,
I'm Carlos.
and today we're talking about delay pedals, which
Delay.
very good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think delay is probably my favorite effect if I had to pick one.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if maybe we were talking about this like off the record, but I think since like almost like distortion and fuzz and all that doesn't count because I think that is integral to electric guitar.
Yeah, that's just like tone, kind of.
Well, yeah, and also like if you're putting the electric guitar through something like to amplify it, even if it's not meant to distort, like in principle, it could distort if you crank it enough. So it feels like that's just like in a way, there's no electric guitar without the possibility of distortion.
Right.
So in that way, I feel like distortion and fuzz and all that maybe doesn't really count as an effect. So then definitely delay is the best effect.
Do you remember like when you first like clocked you were hearing a delayed guitar signal like early on?
Yeah, there's one band from Spain from the 90s called Héroes del Silencio, like Heroes of the Silence. Huge in Spain, and actually like in Europe they were pretty big. And the big hit was Entre dos tierras, like between two lands. And that starts with just like one chord, and then you hear the delays. Like it's like chan, 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 chan. And I think I was just confused by like how they were doing that, because I guess I thought they were just playing every note, but there was something about it that just seemed very odd. That's the only one that I can think of that was definitely a delay, and like a very present delay. Yeah, how about you?
I mean, it probably is another brick in the wall. Where I like was first cognizant of it, or was like,
yeah,
knew that it wasn't just like a normal guitar tone, because it's that rhythmic like dotted eighth kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just remember it sounded really cool to me, and then
yeah, especially like in that intro, right? Yeah,
it was either that or, and I think I brought this up on a previous episode, but the Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds record where Tim Reynolds is like doing a volume pedal with a delay, and so you get these tails without an attack, where it does that kind of fake violin thing.
Yeah,
and I remember hearing that kind of going back on my heels, like, oh wait a minute, what is this that's happening?
Yeah, and then I was also thinking about like delay feedback, and I mean probably some Radiohead.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm thinking like, and I mean I should just go back to this and check that it's actually that, but I think like, oh my god, which one is the one that ends with this is what you get when you mess with us? For a minute I lost myself.
It's on OK
Paranoid
Computer.
Android? Is it? No. Okay, whichever that song is. I think it ends with that like and there's that like in the background.
Is it Lucky? Is it that one?
No, I think it might be like, it's one of the big ones. It's not. Oh, it's Karma Police, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It's Karma Police. Yeah, I think that's like an older one that I definitely knew the song and I knew the sound, and I just didn't know what it was.
I think there's probably like studio delays too that I heard. I guess not a pedal. Well, I guess the David Gilmour thing isn't a pedal necessarily either. It's just like a echo rack thing. But like there's some like Jimi Hendrix stuff and like, or like Beatles stuff where they would do weird delayed stuff.
It is interesting, and I think that's also why like I thought it would be nice to talk about delay, because like there's so many uses, and they go from like extremely obvious to like just very subtle. Like for example, like a slapback. it becomes just like a part of the tone. Where like, especially like on voice, like I feel like if you ask a lot of people, is there something weird about this voice, they wouldn't even check it. Even though, I mean, a slapback is like a very, well, I mean, it is in a way like a very unnatural thing, but also like a very natural thing. Like we're used to hearing an echo coming back from somewhere. Yeah.
Totally.
Especially on voice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think to me it's just like an effect that has like so many options. Not just in like what kind of delay or like which specific one, but just like in uses.
It's got so many applications.
Yeah, like from like having a slapback, or like if you get into like modulated delays, like just using as modulation, or in a solo, like just having like a longer delay that like
that like sits underneath kind of, and you
like
you may not even know it's there. Exactly.
Yeah. Or like the very rhythmic thing, like with the dotted eighth notes. Yeah, and then of course like actually using it as a sound source, which is, I mean, probably the thing that I do the most with delays. Yeah, like what, I don't know. I mean, if I think of anything else, it feels like there's some much more specific use.
Definitely.
Like, I don't know, like if we say like pitch shifters, it's like, well, you're playing and you're playing more than one note, or you're playing whatever note you were playing now is a different one. And obviously it can sound very different, but I feel like with delay, it's not just the sound, it's like the use can be radically different.
Totally.
Yeah, and also we both really like delay. So
I think so. My first delay was the Boss Giga delay, which is like that 2-pedal thing with, it's like a delay multi-effect basically, and that was great just to learn. I mean, same with our main multi-effects or whatever that we had. It's a great way just to learn about what different kind of delays there are, because it had like I mean, it had your normal, just like really clean digital delay, and then like whatever tape emulation, and then you could tweak it or whatever. So there's modulation and all that, and then or like the dual head delay thing. I remember digging into that, and not really knowing what it was back then. But yeah, you could set the delay time for 2 different heads, tape heads or whatever.
I have to say, I never connect with that. And it is interesting because, I mean, you have the Volante, which is basically a echo rec, right?
Yeah.
Which one of the main features of that is that like you have the 4 heads and you can put them in and out and like do the. But also like you don't use. That's the interesting thing where like when I think of that, I think, oh, this is useful for a rhythmic thing.
Yeah.
But you use it in a very, very washy way.
Yeah. And I think that's even a little different than, because to me the dual is like 2 independent things where it's like,
okay.
It's better in stereo too, I think. And I actually just set something up with this on that Chase Bliss Lost and Found pedal, where I just had the tape delay on both sides, and then just set them to different times. And it's better in stereo, I think, where you could hear each delay on its own. But is the Keeley Halo, is that kind of that thing? Do you know? Where it's got 2?
It could be.
I've never played one, but that's my understanding. Is it's got like two parallel delay tracks, whereas the Volante is all those tape heads in series. But you can still like but you can still like pull them out in and out.
Wait, no, that can't be true.
I think it is, yeah.
Like whatever. So
I get confused with the layout of it, because it's like, so there's 4 tape heads.
But I don't think it's like I think they're supposed to be just like reading.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
lengths. It's not like because you have a delay and then you have another one.
Yeah.
Because
they don't feed into each other. That's right. That's
what I mean. Yes, so they're not. I don't think that would be in series then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Like it feels like this is one delay with multiple heads. It's not two delays on like you're not like splitting your signal and then sending
Correct.
them to
yes,
two different ones.
I guess you could on the Volante you can like move a tape head to one side or the other too. So you could.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You could do something like that. I don't play in stereo too often, but it's fun.
Yeah,
fun
but like so, I don't know. I guess like I feel like just playing with rhythmic delays, like it's fun. Like I sometimes do it just like on my own, but like I'd never use it.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It has to be a very specific thing you're doing. It's like I mean, it's got to be part of the tune.
Totally. Yeah.
Which is it's fine, but it's hard to.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things. Like the same thing that you said sometimes about like in between positions on single coil guitars. That like you like how it sounds when other people do it, but like you don't feel like doing it. That's kind of me with like rhythmic delays. I'm
always with those two. I'm always having to remind myself that I need to play like very square because the delay. Because the delay is doing the work of the syncopation.
Yeah.
And my instinct is to play syncopated, but whenever I do that,
I get it.
Then the delay becomes less important and like sounds confused.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like from what I've heard you do, like what would I associate? Because I think it's like it's very present, but it's also not like it's like an interesting in between where like it's not just in the background, it's not just sauce, I mean, I would say, but it's also not rhythmic.
Yeah. I think I mentioned too on one of the last steps that there's a couple songs where whatever preset I have that I played 90% of the time on the Volante, it does sync up, but it's not like I didn't plan it that way, and it's not like I'm playing to that necessarily. But if there's like a break at the end of a phrase, it's always kind of pleasing where it's like, oh great, it's like this little moment works, and the delay can kind of like step out then in that time. But other than that, it's just, I mean, it's for me, it's just to provide like space, like because playing like a dry guitar is still very scary to me.
Yeah.
Because even on like jazz gigs, sometimes I'll just do a much more simple, like just like subtle quarter note delay. That's, I don't know. I get scared of. I get scared of hearing just myself.
Yeah. So I mean, you've mentioned the Volante, or maybe I brought it up. I don't know. But I was thinking about like what delays are for us. Like, yes, this is the shit.
We both had the rubberneck, right?
Yeah. Which I thought it was interesting. Like, I felt like we had to be like, shout out to the rubberneck, even though I sold mine.
I sold mine as well.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was like almost, it was almost there. Like it had some really cool stuff, but I think for me, what ended up not working as well was I probably mentioned this before, but like my pedal board is on a keyboard stand. So I was very excited about the rubberneck because you can hook up remote control. So I liked the rubberneck function. But then
because that was what you would like. So the rubberneck function, you would like hold down. I forget which foot's which, but and then it would like pitch shift kind of, right?
Yeah, it like speeds up or slows down.
Yeah,
and you can control like how
the rate. Yeah,
like how fast it reaches the other point.
Right.
I think it might always be like double speed or half speed.
Yeah. And it's either up or down. You could just decide.
Yeah, like it wasn't. I didn't find that information anywhere like specified like this is what's going on, but and then the other function is that you can have like a secondary feedback value.
Okay, yeah.
I like that, but I don't know. In the end, I decided I just needed just like an expression pedal controlling the feedback.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Yeah, sometimes like you could really, especially when you released it, like when you went back to normal feedback, it was super obvious.
Yeah, I've the Boss Giga delay had a thing called warp, I think, where you could hold one of the foot switches and it would it's almost like a freeze kind of thing, or it would or the delay the delays wouldn't decay. I don't think it was basically got like 100% feedback.
Okay.
Which is cool. But then like you said too, you let go and it was like so yeah, there's no like ramp down. It was just like off kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was it was a cool effect leading up to that, but then it was always like, oh, I kind of wish I had more more leeway on the way down.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, the modulation sounded good. It has a nice EQ, and like you can also crank the drive a little bit.
It had a really cool drive on the road beats, and then it oscillated really well too. It was and then you had the thing you could plug a pedal into the
It has an effects loop. Which is also something that like it's so cool, but I end up never doing.
I never used it, but
because it's just like
in theory, it's
more
awesome.
cables and like more stuff, so it feels more like I don't know, like something that is cool to have, maybe for the studio or something. But then I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I would have to have it on a pedal board, like with something in the loop, like just set up.
You would have to like,
and then I would use it, but yeah. I mean, I am very much a Backup Brigade guy. I need a t-shirt. Like, I think the first pedal the first delay pedal that I really, really liked is the Moore Ana Echo, which is a clone of the Boss DM2. And the latest one that I really like is the Brig, which is like a digital emulation of different Backup Brigade delays. But yeah, I mean, just in terms of like the sound, the way they feedback, the way they sound when you like then change the range for the feedback. And I mean, honestly, also just like the repeats, like the way, I mean, kind of like the inherent EQ that they have. I think it's very nice. Like they can sit back a little bit more in the background.
That like warmth to them kind of thing.
Yeah, but then also like if you increase the time, like they start getting slightly like crunchier. And also the time range.
Yeah,
I think it's great. Like I don't need more than, like, I mean, I don't even know exactly what the numbers are. I think they usually go from like 20 milliseconds to like, what, like 200?
I was going to say 200 or 300 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Which I think that's kind of like, I'm not going to say never, but like for the most part, I don't need a super long delay.
See, that's where I kind of ran into problems with those, is because I tend to
because you do.
Yeah. Like when I had the Line 6 HX Stomp, and I think I had set something up with the Backup Brigade kind of thing, and then maxed it out, and then was like, oh no, I thought this would get me there, but it won't. So I had to find like a tape delay or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you've mentioned
Can the Brig get longer since it's digital, or is it like self-limited in that way where it's?
I think it might be able to get a little bit longer, but it is. Yeah, I think they're really going for like.
Gotcha.
This is as close to, except you have some stuff like you can add modulation to some delays that like traditionally wouldn't have.
Cool.
Which I like. I mean, I feel like modulated delay is one of those things where it's like, well, do I need it? But then like when you have it, it's like, oh, man, this is really nice. Like it's just
it's
like a nice like hug.
My main delay on the Volante is I think it's either the tape or the drum head. I don't remember which anymore, to be honest. But yeah, it's got that subtle modulation, vibrato, warble to it, and it's like it's like I have a really subtle chorus on. Because you don't always hear it unless you like dig in, or the tails are really present or whatever.
Yeah. I guess that was another question that I had. Like you also, I mean, sure, we talked about the giga delay, but like, I feel like neither one of us cares much for like pure, like just like what you play is what comes out type of delay.
No, yeah.
No,
unless
yeah.
unless I'm going for that specific thing for like a specific song idea, or that would come down like compositionally, where it's like I want this to be. I did set up a delay on the Volante, a preset, because Johnny Greenwood in the Smile, he has some tunes where it's just one repeat on like a dotted eighth or whatever. And I was trying to mess around with that, where it is like a mirrored image, where there's no degradation. Well, there's no time for it to degrade. Yeah, it's just one repeat. Sure. So like stuff like that, I would mess around with. But as far as like a clean digital delay, it's like,
yeah,
I'm not as into that really.
Yeah, I don't know. I like, it's just like,
it's too like clinical, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, but even just like mixing wise, I'm like, if I start with that, then I'm gonna have to make it darker.
Yeah,
or like I'm gonna have to work harder to make it work. While I feel like an analog delay is kind of doing that work for you.
Yeah.
Just by the nature of it, but it happens to actually sound better. I'm trying to remember. Like, is the Volante the only like purely delay pedal that you have right now?
On the board? The Lost and Found has some delay.
Yeah, okay, but like that's kind of like that's more than that. But.
Yeah, it's got a tape delay emulator, which I've just kind of started to mess with a little bit, and it's not as modifiable as the Volante. Okay. It's just because there's just not enough room.
Yeah,
and then it's got the I think it's called the grain tumbler. Oh wait, I have the booklet right here. There's too much stuff in this pedal. The grain tumbler. So it's like a granular delay that'll a granular delay that samples your audio and rearranges it. Which I was messing around with that with like longer like feedback. And then you can change the size of the sample too.
Yeah.
And that's really fun for these unpredictable kind of delays. And
it's interesting when you get into like granular delays, or like where's the line between granular delay? It's
hard to say. Yeah.
Try if you were born in Spain, it's even harder. But yeah, so the line between like a granular delay and a micro looper, like,
yeah,
because to me a micro looper is like, that's not that. Yeah, that feels very different than a delay. Like I wouldn't even consider it like in the same category.
No, it's like a pad kind of thing almost.
Yeah, I mean, and even the ones that are not cloudy, like once you get into that, like, oh, I'm gonna play something and this is going to like give me back parts of what I played. I don't know. It feels like then the process is like, so it's too complex for me to just say like, oh, that's a delay. Even though I can see, and maybe it's also like because I just don't use normal delays that way.
Yeah.
Like setting up a longer time and having it come back at me, where it's almost like a weird like time traveling duo with yourself. I think if that was my primary way of using a delay, then I can see how like, well, this is just the same thing, but it's more mangled.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just going back to like the like the ideas of like, what is it? Is it part of like your tone? Like I think for me, usually a delay is either that, like more integrated into the guitar, where it doesn't feel like a second thing, or it's just like an instrument on its own, because I just want it like as a tone generator.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess maybe to me like that's kind of like a third way that I just don't explore that much, so it feels more separate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because even for me too, like I'm trying to think of songs that I play with various bands where I would like put on the delay for like one section, and there's not that many where it's like it's usually just like, yeah, the delay is part of the tone for the song. Where it's it would be, unless there's like, or maybe that's more reverb, where there's like some solos or whatever where I'll like step on anyway. But yeah, I'm much more more likely to pick a delay for a song, and then just that's the tone. I mean, that's why I have the same. Yeah, that's why I use the same delay tone for so much stuff.
Oh, also, how's your relationship with reverse delay?
I'm glad you brought this up because I was thinking about reverse delay. I think this isn't reverse delay, I guess, but hearing on Castles Made of Sand by Jimi Hendrix, there's that reverse solo, which they just flipped it in studio.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that and being like, whoa, what is going on? This is really cool. And then learning you could do that with pedals.
Yeah.
And I got the Line 6 DL4.
Yeah.
And I think also around that time I was listening to more Bill Frisell, and he would use that also. There's a record called Further East, Further West, a live record that I think there's a tune called Big Shoe where there was like a lot of reverse delay, and I was like, whoa, this is really rad. And so I got that pedal, and that's when I first started messing with it, and I found it pretty cool. It's really fun. And I've peppered that into my own music here and there over the years, mostly like recorded stuff. I don't use it live all that much.
Okay.
There is Gilad Hexelman is a great guitar player, and I think his foundational delay sound is just like, at least at one point in his career it was the Avalanche Run by Earthquake and Devices, and it was kind of a subtle like reverse tail delay.
Whoa.
And that sound is really cool to me because it doesn't take over, but then if you're listening closely enough, it's like, oh, there's something off about this. And so I tried to mimic that on some gigs with the Boss Giga delay because that has a reverse. I guess that was the first time I tried reverse.
To me,
was the Boss. Sorry,
I was gonna say, like, to me, there's no subtle reverse delay.
Yeah.
But I guess there is. I don't know.
Yeah, you can you can tuck it under, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I only ever use it with mix at 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
like, to me, it's like this is now the sound. It's no normal guitar, just reverse. So you actually get like closer to the reverse tape. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about it because it's interesting that I was going to say like, like I love reverse delay, but it's just like whichever. Like I'm not picky.
Oh yeah,
like right now it's just like the one from the HX Stomp. But then I don't know, if I think about it, I feel like I've started getting pickier with it. Like,
oh really?
It is nice when you can add some modulation.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. It can have that kind of like lo-fi-esque thing, which I think makes it more interesting than just straight up like reverse, and that's it.
There have been many times where I've thought about how can I sneak a reverse delay onto my board, and I've never been able to to do enough moves to make it work. But it is something that we just talked about. Yeah, how like delay for like certain sections of a song. It's like that I would probably do if I could find a way to do that. But I don't feel like ripping apart my board.
Sacrificing something for
again.
For that. So are there any delays that you've tried and you were like, oh dang, that would be nice, but you haven't owned them?
I had the Strymon Deco for a little bit, which has it's a two. One's the left side is like a tape saturation, which sounds great as just a drive. I've been thinking about getting a Deco again too. and then the right side is like a tape, like a tape deck or a reel to reel rather kind of tape thing. So it does modulation too.
Oh, nice. Okay, but wait, and you still have like feedback. Like it's not just one repeat.
There's a max of 2 repeats. You can
Oh wow! Okay.
It's either 1 or 2. But you can get it decently long, where it's. I mean, it's not. It was. I remember messing around with that as just a foundational delay sound, and it's not. So dissimilar from mine because you can still add the modulation like the warble or whatever. Yeah, it's a pretty versatile pedal because then it just if you move the move the delay time. You can get that chorus sound. You can get like a flanger sound.
Cool.
That's the one that's most on my mind. I've also wanted to try the Avalanche Run, which I haven't tried yet, but
yeah, I think we talked about it. I tried it and I really liked some of the sounds, but then it had some like weird quirks that I didn't really want to work around.
Yeah.
Well, but I think we both tried the Benson delay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't dive too deep. It was at the studio that I recorded at last month. And Brian, the engineer, he was like, "Oh, we should throw this on whatever else I was doing," because I think I had the mood going, and then which is also its own delay. I was playing like some digital grand piano through that, and then into the Benson delay, which that was really cool. And that too, I was using more like you might use it, where it's like its own instrument.
Okay,
Or is that messing with the feedback?
Nice. Yeah, I tried it one time at actually Benson Fest in Portland.
Cool.
Like not last year, 2 years ago now. And yeah, so it was just like, I don't know, 3 minutes with headphones. But yeah, it was, I don't know, it was like one of those where like immediately you're like, oh man, this sounds really good.
Yeah, same.
And it's also very interesting because it is not, as far as I understand, it's like, it's built as if it was a Bucket Brigade.
Okay.
But then it doesn't have Bucket Brigade chips. It has the PT2399, I think it is. Do you know about this?
I don't. No, I was gonna take your word for it.
PT2399. A lot of like analog emulated delays or so use that chip.
Okay.
Or like a lot of lo-fi delays use that chip. Yeah, I mean, actually, another one that I don't own, but I really liked, the Death by Audio Echo Dream 2. That's also a PT2399. So it can distort in a very interesting way, and also like the way it degrades is very characteristic. But I think at some point there has been like so many of those that people were like, okay, this is like the lame delay. So it's interesting that like watching some videos from Benson about that delay, I think they were like, well, we're still going to do, because a lot of the sound of a Bucket Brigade delay is not just the chip, it's like everything that you have to do to like clean up the signal or like get rid of the clock noise. So there's a lot of like EQ moves that are out of necessity.
Yeah.
So they just did all of those as if it was still a Bucket Brigade delay, but then instead of the Bucket Brigade, they put the PT2399. And yeah, so it was just a very interesting like exercise in like, where is the sound? Like what you think is actually the sound of the pedal, it might not be that. It might just be like everything around that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then also at that same event, I tried the Electronic Audio Experiments Sending. Do you know about this?
I don't know.
So, I mean, Electronic Audio Experiments, I think most people know them for like their drive pedals, like they're like the longsword and yeah, a lot of they're all like weapons. And yeah, so the Sending, it's pretty big, and it's like digitally controlled Bucket Brigade.
Okay.
So similar to like the Chase Bliss Therme.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tried it and I was like, and it can do so many things. Like it is kind of ridiculous, like how many modes there are, but it's still a Bucket Brigade delay. It's just like all the knobs are like digital potentiometers, then going to like some controller that is doing the stuff to the analog circuit. So yeah, I mean, you can control like everything with the expression pedal. You can have presets, and it still sounds and feels amazing. Which I was kind of surprised, but like how, because like the world, since like the controlling is done digitally, like there's gonna be like some sort of like weird like quantizing in some of the movements, and there was nothing. So yeah, in the end, it's just like it's really expensive. It's really big. So I think that was part of why I ended up going with the Brig. Plus, I decided it's more fun to have 2 delays than just one that does a lot.
Yeah, totally. Because I was thinking too about like I borrowed a friend's Strymon Timeline for a little bit years ago, which is a great pedal, but it was just like it was too much for me because it goes back to like kind of menu diving thing where each like it's got all the settings, but then each aspect of the delay you have to like dig into the menu to move around and whatever, and my brain doesn't have time for that. So I'm much more on team have 2 delays or more because like I have a little satellite board I can throw on the end with the Chase Bliss Mood and then the new Line 6 DL4 which is mostly a looper, but that's got the reverse delay too that I would use. I was thinking too, so with the Mood, I do have a preset on there that is because that delay, or one of the delays it does, is just very clean digital, and I do have that as a preset for a tune I play with Deb Talon. But I'm mostly just like swelling into stuff, and so it almost acts as a looper kind of thing.
Interesting.
So it's just these really long, clean repeats, and I'm just kind of floating over the top of that tune. But so I guess I cater my playing to that delay because if I was just playing strumming chords, it would sound awful. But it's all these like intersecting kind of like swells coming in.
Okay.
In a really fun way, and that's also with a delay on the Volante too, the normal delay.
Yeah.
So you get trails on trails and it's fun.
And I think I would really like having that big ass tape delay.
Yeah.
Like just huge. Just like sitting on my desk. Like,
have you played any of those like newer? Because they've made some,
I know.
right?
Yeah, they look great. I don't remember what is it Ecofix? I think that's the brand.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They look great, and I mean, just like I just want to look at the tape.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like the snake thing. But yeah, I mean, I would love that. It's just like I mean, obviously, like it's a lot of money, it's a lot of space. It's
so impractical.
I end up only using what's on the board.
Yeah.
So I know even if I had it, I probably wouldn't use it that often. But yeah, I mean, they look great. And honestly, even like those like T-Rex, like the replicant, something like that.
I don't remember the name, but I was gonna say
the ones where they like the cassettes. Those look great. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that would definitely be like if I could just have anything, probably like a just single repeat. Oh no, sorry, not single repeat, single head tape delay. So less like a Benson, more like an Echo Rec or something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. The Echo Rec is the Benson. Yeah.
Benson Echo Rec. Yeah.
I'm thinking
Echoplex.
Or like a Space Echo.
Yeah.
No, or maybe the Space Echo also has multiple heads. I don't know. I think so. Anyway, I don't know anything about big delays, but a tape delay would be nice.
And then you have is your Red Panda a reverb or a delay?
No, it's a reverb.
Okay, gotcha.
It has like you can like hold some stuff and like add a delay to the reverb.
Gotcha.
But it's a very like just clinical normal delay.
I was looking into one of the Red Panda delays at one point when I was reconfiguring my board a couple years ago, but I never pulled the trigger. But it seemed like really interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I've thought a lot about buying a tensor.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, the tensor is this we're in between. Like, I think it can do at least a single repeat delay. And I think you can even use it as a looper. But then, I mean, yeah, it's just one of those where it's like this feels almost like a different, more like that, like micro looper or like tape esque madness. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, it was always hard to convince myself to commit to stuff.
Yeah.
Like that much weird stuff as a main delay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's like,
which I guess is why you have multiple delays. But even the Lost and Found, it's got the tape thing and then the grain tumbler, and then it has a pitch shifter that you can adjust the repeats on, similar to the to the slip mode in the mood, which I love. I think on that I have a preset where it's like there might be 2 octaves up, but it's at least an octave up, and it's like reversed, so it's really fun. Cool. The Lost and Found doesn't do reverse, but it does the octave up thing.
Nice.
And that's kind of as weird as I need to get for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that pedal too is also fun, just to like not know what I'm doing depending on the gig. I can just
wait, the mood or the Lost and Found?
The Lost and Found, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a fun one to just like. We've been doing these open mic poetry gigs where we just improvise behind poets, and it's fun just to like. Well, I'm just going to twist some knobs and then see what happens, because it's more forgiving than a normal gig in that way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And those kind of pedals are fun where you have, you got your presets and then it's going to, it can do whatever.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I think unless you have something else, I think that might be a good place to wrap up the delay talk.
Long live delay.
Yeah. All right. What's your album recommendation for this week?
All right. Something I've dug back into recently is the Amy Mann record, Bachelor No. 2, in parentheses, or The Last Remains of the Dodo. It's very long
I have
title.
No idea what this is.
Oh, man.
Who is this? What is it?
Amy Mann is great. She's a songwriter. So there was a movie, Magnolia, that came out in 1999.
Yeah, the Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I love how you mention it like this movie nobody has ever seen.
You never know. And so my parents saw that movie when it came out, and then the soundtrack is mostly Amy Mann songs, because Paul Thomas Anderson was like writing the scripts to those songs, basically.
Wow.
And this Bachelor No. 2 record, a lot of those songs ended up on there, because so Paul and Amy were and are friends, and so I think I think he had some of these like demos or something. Oh, because this record was, I think she was waiting to be on a label, or the label dropped her or something like that, and so she put it out on her own, and then it became, as far as those things go, pretty successful.
Yeah,
and so it's a lot of those tunes from Magnolia. And it's just, there's these really inventive chord changes. I believe it's John Bryan produced either most or all of it. He's another LA guy, great producer and musician in his own right. So there's just really interesting production choices. A lot of like double tracked guitar stuff. Getting back to delay a little bit. It just, for me, it like kind of pushes the limit of what these like kind of poppy rocky tunes can be, or that you can still get outside the box, because even listening to this day, it's like there's stuff that still surprises me in these tunes, these really fun chord changes.
Cool.
And some like really like stripped down tunes too, where it's just like there's this I think it's like a minute and a half long. It's called Just Like Anyone, and it's just like her and a guitar, and I think maybe some strings in the background, but it's just like, oh yeah, this is music. Music can be anything you want it to be.
Nice. All right. Well, mine is I guess it is an album, or is it an EP? I don't know. It's one of the two. It's called Strange Satisfaction. 2020, and it's by Woody and Jeremy. How much are you into Wolfpack?
I know of them. I don't really listen to them.
Okay.
I've played some of their tunes in bands. Yeah.
Yeah, I got really into them to the point where like I'm even into like the expanded universe of Wolfpack. So like one of the founding members of Wolfpack, Woody Goss, which I feel like he's very underrated. Like everybody is always about like, oh, Joe Dart and Jack Stratton and like Corey Wong, and sure, all great. But like some of his solo stuff is like my favorite thing that like any of them have done.
Cool.
A lot of it is just instrumental. And then he's done some other albums with collaborators that are also great. He's a keyboard player. And so Woody and Jeremy is Woody Goss and Jeremy Daly. I'm assuming is how you pronounce it. Daly. And yeah, I think this album was Woody Goss wrote all the music, and then Jeremy just did like the vocals and the lyrics. And I don't know, it's just like super fun, like just very easy to listen to, like just like I don't know, while you're having coffee or like in the morning or just doing chores. Like I have no idea how many times I've listened to it because it's very just like fun, comfortable music. But also like Jeremy has a very interesting voice where I think like the first time I was listening to it, was like, what is like, what's the deal with this singer? Like, this is not acceptable. And I really like it. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like it, maybe I could say like kind of like untrained.
Okay. Yeah.
Like he's not like singing out of tune, but just like the tone of the voice is like not what you would expect.
Unpolished.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Just like, yeah, just not somebody. Like if you heard somebody singing like that, you wouldn't be like, oh man, you're a natural. So it's like, okay, you sing in tune. You have a little personality. Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, like all the lyrics are very funny. Just it goes by very quickly. There's no filler.
Yeah.
Just nice, solid. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Well. Oh. And this has been Stompboxing. I'm Dan.
I'm Carlos.
And I guess see you next time.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.